Welcome back, students. So let's proceed with our subject and first chapter, HR Analytics in Perspective. So earlier we have studied what is HR Analytics and why it is important in business. So today we'll study what exactly is analytics and why HR Analytics is important. So what is analytics? Analytics is derived from a Greek term wherein ana is breaking up the data up throughout and lysis means loosening. So basically it is isolation and identification of data into variables and situation and trying to determine any kind of correlation that exists between these variables so that you understand the scenario or situation better. So analytics, it usually encompasses mathematics, statistics, predictive modeling and machine learning technique in order to understand the underlying patterns in big data sets. So predictive modeling is basically looking into the historical facts and analyzing the current situation and using these both to predict what is going to happen in future or possible or let's say probable situation that might occur in future. So basically they come up with numbers, it uncovers the patterns or it gives you the results in terms of figures, that is numbers. Now you must be wondering what HR has got to do with numbers, because HR is all about feelings and emotions and dealing with human beings. So what has that got to do with numbers? So let's just try to understand. See, each employee is unique by the choices they make, and the choices they make kind of predict their behavior. So when employees are few in number, you can analyze them, you can predict their behavior based on the choices they make and your previous experience with that person. But when the organization is huge and there are more number of employees and you do not know each one of them personally, how can you predict a person's behavior in any given situation? So that becomes quite impossible. So that is when your analytics comes into picture. So analytics, if you feed data into it and if you identify variables properly, then analytics can help you quantify the data, build a model and predict the behavior of your employees, and based on that decisions can be taken. And how? Not just based on your experience, but you can also have algorithms which can actually do the job of how we think. So any organization these days, it uses analytics and analytical tools in order to understand its employees better and to have better insight about its human resource. So before understanding analytics or HR analytics, we must understand particular terminologies which are relevant in your human resource analytics. So the first one is visualization. So visualization is a technique of creating images or diagrams or animation to communicate a message. So we all know any data that has or information that has to be communicated, it is more effective when it is graphically represented rather than verbal representation. Graphical representation has much more effectiveness or clarity than verbal representation of the data. So visualization plays a very important role in analytics. The next term is algorithm. So what exactly are algorithm? So in maths or computer science, an algorithm is a well-defined sequence of instruction, so which can be given to computer in order to solve problem or perform any computation. So your data analytics majorly uses algorithm to scrutinize data and to find out patterns in big data. And the next term is big data. So like the term describes, it is a large volume of data which consists of both structured and unstructured data. So businesses on daily basis, they have to collect this data whichever is relevant to their business and keep track of it, and later they can use tools, analytical tools, to uncover the underlying patterns. But again, it is not the amount of data that you have with you is important, but how well you utilize the data, how well you scrutinize it and uncover the hidden meaning. That is what makes it important. So, data scientists. Data scientists are those analytical experts who utilize their skills in both technology and social science to find trends and manage data. So they use this industry knowledge and their contextual understanding in order to solve the problems and to uncover solution to the business challenges. They should be good in programming, they should be good with statistics, they should be good in communication and visualization, should be good in their soft skills and the way they represent data. Only then you can become an efficient data scientist. There is a huge demand for this in the market. One more term I missed, predictive analysis. So what is predictive analysis? It is another analytical technique. So what happens here is, based on the historical facts and the current scenario of the organization, the probable future outcomes can be predicted using the data analytical techniques or tools. For example, in your statistics you have come across the trend, isn't it? The trend line is, so from past, using the historical data, you will try to find the trend of certain things, whether it is positive trend or negative trend. So similar operation goes into predictive analytics. So based on historical data, they will predict the future. Now R and Python. So R and Python are programming languages. They are used and they are freeware open source programming languages. So they are widely used in your data analytics, and also Tableau is used for representation of data. But R and Python are in huge demand these days when it comes to data analytics. Now the next question is, why analytics? So we already know that analytics can help us discover the underlying patterns in huge sets of data and to make better decisions so that we achieve strategic growth. And when you have data backup or data as proof for your decisions, then you can avoid relying on your gut feeling or intuition or current market trends for that matter. So let's take an example. Let's say there is a manufacturing firm, and this manufacturing firm has high employee turnover. So if there is high employee turnover, that is people in the organization are leaving and going, the rate of people leaving the organization is more, then what happens? That means the company is not operating at its full productive level. If a company is not operating at its full productive level, that means the cost to the company will be more and the productivity will be less. So until you find new candidates, okay, and make sure that the company is operating at full productive level, it takes a lot of time and investment. So that is the cure. So they always say, prevention is better than cure. So how to prevent this high turnover? What to do with it? So that is when you can use HR analytical tool in order to understand, okay, to gather the data and understand or have an insight on what is not working well and what is not working well, and the very reason that is causing the firm's high turnover. So once you have these valuable insight, then you can understand how that cause can be tackled and how turnover can be reduced. So by reducing turnover, the company can increase its revenue also and productivity also. But in order to do this, first it must gather data and have to analyze the data in order to understand the cause. So analytics will always help you understand whenever a problem is there. So it will help you understand why exactly the problem occurred, or what problem has occurred, or how it has occurred, what exactly is happening now in the organization, and if the situation is not treated, what might likely to happen next, or what is likely to happen next. So analytics will help you understand what happened in the past, what is currently happening, and it can also predict and tell you what will happen in the future. That is why having analytical tools or analyzing the data that is available in day-to-day business is very important these days in order to make decisions in the future. And you cannot, it's like your proactive strategic decisions. If you have reactive strategic decisions, that is when you take decisions as and when the situation occurs, so you may or may not be able to cope up with the situation. But if you're proactive, then you can tackle any kind of hurdle that organization is facing. So like they say, prevention is always better than cure. So investing a little time in analyzing the problem is easier or better than finding the solution once the problem has occurred. So for this, if you can gather data on what has already happened, which is called as descriptive analysis, okay, and analyze in terms of why it has happened, so or what will continue to happen if the things are not treated well, so that is predictive analysis. And then to design a treatment for fixing it so that you will be able to eliminate the recurrence of the problem, so which is called as prescriptive analysis. It's like whenever you have a problem, somebody prescribes a solution. If you have an illness, doctor prescribes the medicine. So similarly, when you come across a problem, you first analyze it and describe why it has happened and how it has happened in the past, so that is descriptive analysis. And if you're trying to find out what will continue to happen in future if the situation remains same, so that is called predictive analysis. And if you're coming up with the solution so that the problem doesn't reoccur in the future, then it's called prescriptive analysis, wherein you are modeling. So modeling and predicting the behavior and trying to find out solution. So these are all the stages in your analytics, which we will deal in our next class. That's it for today. Thank you.